Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I hope you're having a great week. It's Thursday, and this week I've been looking at books that have been given to me or books that really impressed me as a young man and still impress me today. That was my criteria. And so I've only got 2 more days of the week left, today and tomorrow, and I went through my oldest bookshelf that's got some of my oldest books on them, and I was just pulling them out to try to decide what to talk to you about. Barclay's New Testament Words got me in love with the Greek language, made me want to study it. It was wonderful. Hannah Hurnard's Mountains of Spices, not as good as her first one, Hind's Feet on High Places, but still a marvelous allegory. Really liked it. John Powell, Unconditional Love. It's gotten older. I see maybe some tweaks to it I would make, but still one of the best books I've ever read on how we're loved by God and how we should love as like manner. Watchman Nee, The Normal Christian Life. Oh, mercy. What we think is a superlative Christian life, Watchman Nee points out, was a normal Christian life within the framework of the early church and the New Testament. And we sometimes think that it's super normal to do things that really should be part of our everyday life. Watchman Nee, loved his stuff. C.S. Lewis, Miracles, redefined for me the idea of what's a miracle. That a miracle is not just God interrupting the world and the way it exists with a virgin birth, for example. That's one kind of miracle. But the more common miracle in the Bible is God, through his divine sovereignty, weaving the fabric of life into another result. Whether that's bringing Babylon in to judge Israel because of Israel's sin, or Judah, or whether it's any number of different things, providing a husband for Ruth. All of that. The Humor of Christ by J. Elton Trueblood, that taught me that a lot of what we read in the New Testament with Jesus was Jesus being, in its day, humorous. And Paul's Idea of Community, Robert Banks, a great book where he talks about how Paul relates the church to family. Paul relates the church to a body. All of these allegories and pictures Paul uses and what we can learn from them. And I couldn't decide, but ultimately, I thought I might talk briefly about Being Human by Ronald Macaulay and Jerome Bars. This book really made an impression on me because it changed my theology. When I was growing up, I thought that I was a human body, and inside of this human body, I had a spirit. And when I died, my spirit was going to go off to be with the Lord, and my body would be gone, and I would exist as a spiritual being, which was the true holy part of me. Little did I know that doesn't come from the Bible, that comes from Plato. The biblical image is that we were made as human beings, and we were made in the image of God to reflect God. And for us as a human being, that means not that God is flesh, God isn't, God is spirit, save when Jesus was manifested on earth. But it means that we are to show his likeness to the world. And being human, being truly human, means all of us. It's not escape the body, it's redeem the body for the Lord. It's not get out of my mind, it's renew my mind for the Lord. Look at Jesus as the model human. When Jesus was on earth, he prayed to God, but he prayed to God with vocabulary. He spoke. For Jesus to be human was to live and to walk and to eat and to feed. It was to minister to others' needs. It was to rest when he was tired. He's the example of being human, and it transformed my understanding of what it means for me to be fully human as God made me to be. So that's the one. If I'm going to tell you to get a book and read it, I'll choose actually any of these, but that's the one I choose to talk about today. Now tomorrow, we'll finish this series, but that's your video thought for the day.